Good day, everyone. So today we shall be looking at materials and processing. All right, and then the materials we'll be considering today is known as wood. Of course, the wood, the common word that we all know. I believe we all know actually. So wood is what we want to consider today. How this material is being processed, and then the usage. You see, wood is a hard, fibrous substance found beneath tree bark. Okay, and they are essential in furniture making and building construction. You know, we have different type of this wood based on their color and based on their texture, whether they are soft or hard, and also their properties. So we shall be considering this type of wood and also the properties and their usage. Okay, having said that, we've already known what wood is. Okay, wood is one of the several materials used in technology, of course. So it's used alongside metal, ceramics, rubbers, and plastics in technology, in doing a lot of things. So each material that we use, whether it is metal, ceramics, okay, have their unique function. And that of the wood is what we want to consider today. We consider the rest some other day, the metal, the ceramics, and the rubbers. But today, we want to look at the characteristics of wood, the color, the hardness, classification, and the structure of the leaf. All right. The internal structure of a wood. The wood internal structure is categorized into 6 parts. So we have the pitch. You see it here. The internal part, this vertical side, is known as the pitch. And then we have the cambium. You see the dark side there is known as the cambium. And then we have the back of the wood, the one that covers the wood is known as the back. Okay, the one that you could see with your eyes is known as the back. And then we have the xylem. You could see it here. So the xylem is a little bit far away from the pitch. You see the distance between the xylem and the pitch. So, and then we also have the flame. So before you can get to the xylem, you have to get to the flame. Okay, so that's how it is being arranged. So the back is what we could see, but inside the back we have the the cork cambium, then followed by the cambium itself, and after the cambium we have the flame. After the flame, then we have the xylem. The innermost part is where we have the pitch of the internal structure of the wood. So in summary, there are 6 parts in the internal structure of a wood: the pitch, the flame, the cork cambium, the xylem, the cambium, and then the back. All right. So having known this, let's not talk about the external part of a tree. Of course, when we are talking about the wood, we know that the source is the tree, right? So let's talk about the external part of a tree. A tree has the roots, it has trunk, it has leaves, it has seed, flowers, and branches. All right, let's start with the root. This is the root here. So the root of the tree is the part that absorbs water and nutrients from the soil. So the parts, you could see it here, the parts that enter the soil, absorb water from the soil and nutrient from the soil, and that's where the energy, that's where the tree gets food from the root. All right. So apart from the root, we have the flowers and the seed. This part enables the production and tree propagation. You see it here. So when this flower, the seed falls down, they are capable of producing another tree. And of course, we have the leaves. the leaves perform photosynthesis and vary by tree type. Okay, you get to learn about photosynthesis in biology as you delve into sciences. All right. So they perform photosynthesis and vary by tree part, the leaf part, you can see it here. And then we have the trunk and the branches. This one here. This one here is not as strong. The one that is vertical, and then the one that turns right or left. Okay, those are the branches. So this gives a support structure to the tree and grows larger over time before eventually it is cut into timber that we refer to as wood. All right, so this is the external part of a tree. Yeah, so I would say that let's look at the classes of wood that we are. Majorly, we have two classes of wood, and they are the hardwood and the softwood. For the hardwood, the properties of the hardwood, number one, if you want to see if a wood is hard, you will know by the color. It is dark in color. When you see hardwood, they are what? They're dark in color. So whenever you see wood that is dark in color, you can easily conclude that this is hardwood. Another property of hardwood is that they are from deciduous trees. Okay, they are from deciduous trees. Then another property again is that hardwood have complex circular structure. The structure is complex in nature. All right, and again, hardwood are very heavy. When you see hardwood, then try to lift it up. You will find out that you cannot lift it up. They're very heavy by their weight. Another thing is that they have invisible annual rings. You get to know what these you get to know what these annual rings are as you learn more in this subject. Another property of hardwood is that their leaves are broad. They have broad leaves. So when you see a wood that is having broad leaf, you can easily say that this is hardwood. And some of these examples, the example of this hardwood are Iroko tree, mahogany tree, opepe tree. So these are examples of hardwood. They are gotten from these trees, Iroko tree, mahogany tree, and opepe tree. So you can take time to go for an excursion and see how Iroko tree look like. Or you can just check the net and see it from the internet. So I will say that about hardwood. Then the second class of wood is known as the softwood. When you see a softwood, number one, a softwood has lighter color, unlike the hardwood that has a darker color. The softwood is has a lighter color. The color is lighter, and then they are from coniferous trees. Meanwhile, the hardwood are from deciduous trees. Again, a softwood is easy to work with. That's because it is not complex. It does not have a complex structure, so that's why it is easy to work with. And they are also very light in weight. Softwood are not heavy at all, unlike the hardwood that are heavy to carry. So softwood are light in weight, and then their leaves are needle-like leaves. Unlike the hardwood that have a broad leaf. You see, for softwood, when you see the leaf of a softwood, very, very tiny. Needle-like, you know what a needle is, right? You know how tiny a needle is. That is how the leaf of a softwood look like. Tiny leaves. Okay? And they have evergreen trees. Their trees are evergreen. They don't change color. They're always green. So some of the examples of this softwood are gotten from spruce, pine, and cedar. All right? All right, so I will say that let's now look at the color. When you see, we said the hardwood is dark in color, so this is dark. You see it. So when you see something like this about a wood, you can easily see that this is what This is hardwood. And when you see a softwood, something of this nature, okay? So hardwood are dense, like I mean they are heavy, like we said earlier. We are trying to reiterate again. They have complex structure and they are from what? Deciduous tree. So we use hardwood for furniture and building construction. So if we are going to construct, we make use of hardwood because they are very, very strong. Okay, so we use it for furniture making, then we use for sitting our house, and then for construction. Then the softwood on the other hand, like we said earlier, they are lighter in color, they are lighter in weight, they are easier to work on because they're not complex. They are from coniferous evergreen trees and they grow in temperate region. So this is just the difference between the hardwood and the softwood. So you might be asked to state maybe three differences or distinguish between hardwood and softwood. So I've said more than one on this. I've said more than one in this class. So now, what do we use this wood for? We said earlier that we use hardwood for furniture making and for building construction. So we use them to make doors, whether it's hardwood or softwood. Wood in general, we use them in making doors, windows, roofing, and home furniture when it comes to housing, okay, where we live. So we use them to make doors. Although we have other materials too that we use for making doors, but wood is one of them. Windows can also use wood to make a window. But you can see it here. You can see this diagram. You can see here is you see that most of the building here, most of the materials here are wood. You see the door is wooden, all right. Though the window is glass, but we find out that what is holding the glass is the wood, all right. So roofing too, you can see that is used to roof. Though we have the sink that used to cover the roof, but what is holding the sink is the wood itself, all right. Aside from housing, we could use wood in industry, from building industries. So many industries make use of wood in constructing some of their uh, structures. And lastly, we use wood for joinery. Joineries are, the staircases that we climb. So, of course, most of the staircases we have today, they are made up of cement, right? But we also have staircases that are made up of wood. Okay, so these are the areas of applications of wood materials. All right, I will say that aside from the housing, we can also use wood in transport and infrastructure. For example, we use wood in packaging. Have you ever seen a crate, maybe crate of egg made up of wood, or pallet, maybe color pallet made up of wood? They exist. So we use wood to make crates, pallet, even some electronic packaging. We use wood in packaging them. Then we also use wood in railway wagons, in train cars, in lorry bodies. Some lorry bodies are made up of wood. And then lastly, this under transport and this under packaging. Under bridge and poles, we use wood in farm bridges, in electric poles. If you are observant, you find out that most of the electric poles we have, they are made up of wood. And the railway sleeper. You see one here, we use this. This is a bridge made up of wood. So wood has a lot of applications, all right? So it is a very, very essential material. All right. And lastly, we use wood for furniture, like we said earlier, for tools and more. For furniture, we used to make chairs, we used to make beds, we used to make uh, wardrobes, table, bookcases, what we call shelves. So we use wood to make them. You could see a wooden table here. You could see one here. You could see a wooden chair here. So we even have wooden spoon. with a wooden handle. All right. So wood play a lot of roles. Aside from furniture making, we can also use wood for paper. We use wood in making paper and pulp. So the exercise book that we use today in our classrooms, the textbooks that we read, the magazines that we read, the newspaper that we read, they are all made from wood. Wood is very, very important. It's a very, very important material. Then we also use wood for making tools. Have you seen an hammer before? Most of the hammers have their handles to be wood. They have wooden handles. Even some axes that we use in the farm have wooden handles. We have few cases where screwdrivers also have wooden handles. Aside from tool making, we use wood in medicine and clothing. All right, when somebody have an accident and then loses his limbs, there can be artificial limbs, and which is made up of wood. We also have shoes that have wooden heels, right? And then we also use it for rayon stockings. Okay, so in summary, we say that wood is applicable in the aspect of our housing, in the aspect of transportation, in the aspect of packaging, in our everyday items. We make use of wood. Wood can never be discarded. They are always useful. So they are essential materials in our day-to-day activities. All right. Right now, as I'm seated, I'm sitting down on a wooden chair. So its versatility, availability, and workability make it a cornerstone material in technology and manufacturing. So you cannot say that wood is useless. No, wood is never useless. Always important. All right. Look at this. This is a knife with a wooden handle. All right. So our spatula, the one we use in making swallow, is made of wood. All right. Our mortar is made up of wood. Now, talking about the kitchen utensils now, it's made up of wood. You can see some of these utensils here are made up of wood. So wood is essential. It's very essential. And that's more reason why we should learn about it today. So what is our key takeaway? Understanding wood structure, classification, and properties is essential for selecting the right material for specific applications. Because if you do not know these wood structures and you just go into the forest and get any kind of wood, you might likely not achieve your purpose, or the reason you might likely not achieve your purpose for getting the wood because it might not serve that purpose. But when you have an understanding that, oh, this is softwood, so I can use it for paper, for pulp, or oh, this hardwood, I can use it for furniture, for bed, for chair. No, having this understanding will make it easier for you to know the particular type of wood to use, a particular purpose. All right. So, yes, so we shall be doing the cutting here for today. I hope you have learned something. Right. Okay. Thank you for listening. See you another time. Bye for now.